This is News You Can Use.
Last week, I participated in a board meeting to discuss the latest happenings at our church. One of the board members, a residential real estate developer, asked me a question just prior to the meeting getting officially started. Pat, how long do you think this will last? I responded back to him, how long will the record housing demand last? Or how long will the record housing inventory shortfall last? Or how long will the record housing price increases last? Then I asked him, how long will the meeting last? How long will COVID last? He laughed, of course. And then finally, because of the conversation we had been having as a group prior, he knew that I had, talked to a famous guy over in Tuscaloosa. I asked him, how long will Alabama's domination of college football last? There's a lot of questions that were potentially on the board, and I simply asked for clarity. He then confirmed that I should answer all the questions. Okay, let's do that. We'll start with the record housing demand. First, you should know what drives housing demand. Simple, number of people, demographics. But then the number one driver for housing demand going forward is job growth. And there's good news here. Last Friday, we received the monthly employment update in America. We added just under 1 million new jobs, amen, and we've averaged 800,000 over the last 3 months. By the way, just so you know, 250,000 jobs a month would get us back to the record low of unemployment that we started pre-COVID or before COVID. So, last week's number, great number because we're playing catch up to the jobs we lost. We dropped our rate of unemployment to 5.4, the lowest ever in history, 3.5 in the first quarter of 2020. But this was the best we've had since COVID started, so that's good. And we want to get back to that 3.5, but we're in good shape right now. The other good news is there's a record number of job openings in America. Indeed, there's 10 million job openings, and there's only 8.6 million Americans who want to work that are out of work. So 10 million, only 8 million jobs that are needed. Sounds like we're pretty close to full employment. So if you wanted to ask the question about housing demand and its likelihood to continue, if in fact it's true that employment strength is the driver of housing, then we should be at pretty good place right now. So we expect demand is going to continue. Let's get to the second question. How long will record shortfalls of inventory last? Well, almost everything in the economy today, supply and demand, is out of balance, and real estate is, as you're well familiar, out of balance. We have more buyers, that's a good thing, than we do supply to sell them. But we also have the same thing happening in restaurants now. If you've been out to eat recently, if you've been anywhere, and soon when you go to a college football game, there's probably going to be a shortage of people to let you in the game. So you ought to get there early. All right, so that's it. We don't know what inventory and what's going to solve it, but we're going to have a problem for a while, it appears like. How long will record price increases continue? It cannot go on forever at last year's rate, 15%. This year, we're starting to see it slow some now, and we expect by the time the year ends, we'll be down to a single-digit number. And the reason it just can't continue to go higher is because buyers won't be able to afford it. Even with record low interest rates or close to it, they won't be able to afford it because every time we go higher on pricing, you're shrinking the number of potential buyers to buy that home. So, overall, pretty good news. And finally, and more specifically, our expert, Doug Duncan, right here, with his bobblehead. Fannie Mae, he's the chief economist of Fannie Mae. He's given his most recent forecast on housing sales for the next 6 quarters. Here we go. 6.4 million annual units in Q3, the quarter we're currently in. 6.6 in Q4, so a little bit better than this quarter. 6.6 in Q1 of 2022, which would be a fabulous first quarter. 6.5 million, 6.5 million, 6.5 million. That's how he expects the next 6 quarters. So pretty much in keeping with, as I shared, the current level of demand for housing. So lots of noise, obviously, of appraisals and multiple bids on contracts and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is housing's in pretty good shape, but like everything else, it's not perfect. Then we'll get to the question that I asked him. Did he ask me, how long will this last? COVID. Well, we're now at 70% of Americans with either one or two vaccines and 30% who have not. Hopefully that number will decline. And even the 30% who have not, many of them have had COVID, whether they know it or not. So we're probably getting closer to at least this round. The most recent one, the Delta variant round, if you will. But we'll just have to wait because this thing has been a tricky little bugger, that thing called COVID. So look, do your thing. Get vaccinated. The final and the most important question that I thought he asked me, but I really wanted to answer anyway, is the return of college football is 3 weeks away. And how long will this last? What is this? What? Of course, Alabama's dominance of college football. They've won 6 out of the last 13, trophies. Coach Saban has finished the year holding the trophy. No guarantees he'll do it this year. But when he asked me how long will it last, I'm going to answer it this way. I don't know. Domination of college football might last through 2029 over there in Tuscaloosa. Why? He just extended his contract that long. How do I know? I was there. How long will it last? I don't know. Maybe 2029. You don't have to like them. That is Alabama. Some, I dare to say, hate them. Don't. Why? Our creed, you know it. I'm for everybody. Not for everything, but I am for everybody. Knowing that some of you are Bulldog fans, University of Miami fans, and Gator fans, Florida State fans, I simply wanted you to know that I'm for everybody. I'm not against or for everything, but I'm not against anybody. And since my mission, personal in life, is to leave all the people I cross life with better than I found them, and in my attempt to do that, I invited Coach Saban from the University of Alabama. He is considered the greatest of all time, to our personal and professional best this month so that he could share with all of us, whether you like them or not. You have to respect that they are the best and have been the best. And he's going to share his playbook with me and all of you of how you can be a champion, your best, at home, in the workplace, everywhere, with everyone. Don't miss it. This has been News You Can Use.